Hey, hello, friends. Welcome to Blue Pig Reviews. Today we're going to deal with one of the most manly cocktails that there is, the Manhattan, but also its derivations by changing what the base spirit is. Manhattan chiefly is rye whiskey, 2 parts, 1 part sweet vermouth, and 2 dashes of bitters at its base. That formula pretty much gets varied. There's different types, everything from dark Manhattan to whatever. But truly, the Manhattan, just like the old fashioned, becomes a different thing once you change the base spirit. So usually what we're looking for is a rye. But today we're going to do three variations of the Manhattan, the Rob Roy, and the Emerald. And the only difference really is the base spirit and our choice of sweet vermouth. So first thing we're going to do is these can be made in the glass, or you can do them in the mixing tin. We're going to do these each in the individual glass. So I'm going to get 3 chilled glasses. And they don't necessarily have to be chilled, but for effect, it's kind of cool. Yep. So we got those. So we got 3. So normally we do a nice rye whiskey to get the spice to go through the sweetness of the vermouth. But instead, because I love you guys, I'm going to actually use Wild Turkey Rare Breed. The reason I'm using this is the proof level is high, so it'll fight through the sweetness of the vermouth, and I like the taste. But if you wanted to, you could use Rare Breed Rye and then get that spice and the proof. So let's do that. So we have both. Both of these sit on the shelf for about $50 for the regular Rare Breed. For Rare Breed Rye, it's $5 or $10 more. For the Rob Roy is simply you taking a scotch instead of a bourbon or rye, and we're going to use Dewar's 12 year, which is blended. You could use a single malt. Anything that you bring to the table will work out what you like to drink. With Dewar's 12, it has some nice sherry notes, which kind of add and play in with the vermouth. And at the same time, it's an affordable bottle. It's less than $40. It's on the shelf everywhere. Tastes good sipping. It's definitely good in a Manhattan. And then for my Irish whiskey, which is the drink called Emerald, I'm going to use Teeling, which is Teeling comes in a lot of versions from grain, and this one right here is the Teeling small batch, which I like and I keep around and use in cocktails a lot. But you know, your favorite Irish whiskey will do it. And the Emerald also is based off that same deal. Now, the differences between it is normally bourbon has a bunch of other complex flavors. Scotch also in that deal. And then Irish whiskey tends to be sweeter, milder notes. So you want to use usually a milder vermouth, or you want to split the vermouth, half white or dry vermouth, and then half sweet or red vermouth. But we're gonna deal with that here. So we're gonna put these bad boys out of the way till we need to use them. Slide them over here to the side, and all these drinks start with the same thing. They start with 2 hits of bitters, 2 dashes of bitters. And what I like to do is use 1 Ango in there. Angostura bitters, because that's, classic. Angos are in your supermarket, cheaper than the liquor store. $11, I think, somewhere around there. Definitely need them in your mix. And then I'll use 1 orange bitter. Here I'm going to use Ango again. You could also use Regan's. The flavor profile will be different, but I'm going to stick with the Angos, Angosturas. Put 1 in each. And then we got to go to our vermouth. So for the classic Manhattan, I'm going to go with Punta Mess. Punta Mess is a sweet vermouth. It does have some Amaro notes. I think this is the best in any Manhattan, whether I use a rye or I use a bourbon. And what you're going to need from Punta Mess is going to be 1 ounce. 1 ounce of Punta Mess. I'm going to put that in there. And so then for my scotch, I'm going to use Cocchi di Torino. Cocchi di Torino works well with bourbons and ryes, but it also works well with the scotch. And definitely want to use it has more flavorful notes. Works well considering scotches. Scotch can have a bunch of notes like smokiness and so forth and so on. So this can kind of get past that, or peatiness is another one. This seems to work better in it than Punta Mes. I'm going to go 1 ounce in there. And Cocchi Americano sits around. You can get a small one because these have to be refrigerated. Your vermouths get refrigerated after you open them. Keep them cool. They'll last for a long time, a couple of months. And you kind of want to be in that bandwagon that if I open a vermouth, I'm refrigerating. I'm not leaving it out. Not playing any games with it. Nobody really wants to kind of have a skunky vermouth and kind of hit it. So then, lastly, for the tealing for the Irish whiskey, I'm going to use a fruitier, lighter vermouth, more playful or more honey forward, and that's CASALS. And I'm going to go 1 ounce in there. Yep. Right. And CASALS is out there. CASALS is less than $20. Total Wine has it. I like this as a Mediterranean vermouth, very Spanish, I believe, but they call it Mediterranean. I don't know. Very awesome. It's awesome on its own in a couple ounces of seltzer as a sipper, as a spritzer. It's really good. All right. Now, then we're going to need of course, our spirits, and it's going to be 2 ounces in each. If you want to lighten the load, you can. You could say, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm only going to do 1.5 ounces. I wouldn't advise that, but it's your drinking habits. We're going to put 2 ounces of Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye. And this bad boy is sitting at 114 proof, 116 proof. This is good stuff. Put that $60 on the table. Over here, we're going to get the Dewar's. And with the Dewar's, of course, we're going to do solid 2 ounces. Dewar's 12 year. And not Dewar's White Label. Dewar's White Label you normally see in the bar as your budget pour. They tend to have it out there. 12 year is worthy of your shelf. Teeling small batch, you could do Teeling grain. Is also worthy of your shelf. I also like to use Bushmills. Jameson will do. Most bars will do Jameson. Bushmills, especially aged Bushmills, like 10 year, really good in that. Now we're going to get our ice in here. And you can put your ice in before it, but when you're making it in the glass, you only want to fill the glass halfway on the stir and then top it off with the rest of the ice. Well, half the ice is enough to get you going, and I got 2 buckets of ice here, just simply because space issues on the bar. Yeah. The library book bar. Assistance. So 3 drinks, no waiting. There you go. 3 drinks, no waiting. And we're gonna give these a stir right on point. And you can either stir with your lucky chopstick, like I like to do, or you could do it with your spoon. When the cocktails are tight like this, this will work. And you're stirring this till it's diluted, until it's chilled. And I know I'm going from glass to glass, but we're gonna work it like that. The chopstick's not gonna pass the flavor. And of course, we get our Dewar's over here. And you're looking to chill this, so you're looking at more than 40 strokes. The drink is going to grow as you stir it, because that's the dilution. And then once you get to your point, what you're going to do, and I probably could do 2 of these at a time. I was lazy, very lazy, lost one. Move these out of our way. I'm going to come over here, and we're going to top these off, and then we're going to garnish them. Top them off with a little more ice. Ice is jumping into the glasses. It's as excited as I am to drink all these. A little OD'd with the ice on that one, but all right. So then all of these you really want to garnish with your cherry, be it Luxardo at the high end, Bada Bing if you're in the supermarket. There's a bunch of cherry brands that are all good. What should draw you into them is what the flavor of their syrup is. Because some people will put a little syrup over the cocktail to add to the flavor, and that's always a bonus. It's a win. So we're gonna cut us a nice orange wheel. And I've been getting an orange variety lately that's pink at the heart. It's almost like ruby red grapefruit. I've been finding a lot. And we're gonna make our famous demi wedges, which you're gonna take a wheel and cut it into quarters. And then you're gonna make a slash so that it sits on the rim. And what's up with that is functional garnish. You don't want to have all this garnish going on that gets in the way of the drink. It's just there. It may look pretty, but it's not really functional. This is functional because the demi wedge, if you don't like the drink or you want to don't like the drink the way it is, you want to add a little orange flavoring other than the bitters, you could squeeze the in there and just toss it right in and it'll fit. If it was bigger, then that would be hanging out. And we're going to put our cherries in. Each one's going to get a cherry. Classic Manhattan. And we're going to put a little bit of the syrup on. This is not Luxardo. This is the Bada Bings. For all you Soprano fans. Bada Bings. All right. And now we're going to taste them. So this is the Rob Roy Scotch. 2-part Scotch. 1 part sweet vermouth. 2 dashes of bitters. Stirred and chilled to dilution. Taste it. Awesome. The COCCHI goes well with this. COCCHI is an awesome vermouth no matter what you use, but it goes well with the sherry notes and grain notes that are inside of Dewar's. All right. Now we're to Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye Manhattan. Get that taste. And I just got a cherry stem in my mouth. And the Bada Bings have the stem, so you can actually lift it out. Punta Mess has that Amaro taste. You feel all that spice joining with the spice from the Wild Turkey. If you use a rare breed, it brings it down. The regular rare breed, it brings it down a little bit. But the proof shines through. This is very good. Oh, yeah, it's good. That'll put you to bed. This over here, got the Teeling. And the Teeling with the CASALS, you can smell the fruit from the CASALS already in it. Excellent. The CASALS gives the fruit a little tanginess, a little sharpness and citrus. Plays right into the Teeling. Any of these vermouths is interchangeable. COCCHI and Punta Mess you're going to find more of. I'm going to squeeze this in here to see if the citrus gets blown up. And it does. CASALS loves citrus. And Teeling with CASALS makes that the bomb. So you can't lose here. Like I said, these are a basic cold drink in a bar that people order all the time. Manhattan's everywhere. No bartender's not going to know how to make a Manhattan, a Rob Roy, or an Emerald. It's going to be in their repertoire. Pick your whiskey. Pick what you love. Pick your vermouth if you can. And enjoy. If not, if you're at home, make it your way and enjoy it your way. Go for that 1.5 ounce instead of 2 on a light night. Or go for 2.5 if it's a rough day. But like I say, if it tastes good, then you're drinking good, and then it's all good. Cheers, good pouring from Blue Pig Reviews. And whether you're an adventurer like Rob Roy, you're trying to escape the Manhattan, or you're just trying to put an emerald in your pocket, you can't go wrong with any of these drinks. And I'm going to take all 3 of these with me. I got to be able to drink them, so I put them down.